Hey guys, Dwayne Bryant here with your MLB trend report for Thursday, June 22nd. Let's get right into it. Disclaimer: never base any actual bet on any single trend, angle, or piece of information. Use this as just a part of your handicap for these games. Got 5 trends for you that are active today. Here is number one. And this isn't one I particularly care for, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. We're going to look at just this season. Our team is the Red Sox. We're going to look at the Red Sox when they play on a Thursday. You can see that the Red Sox are 7-0 over under, 7 overs, no unders. These games have gone over by an average of 5 runs per game, which is very impressive. If you look at the OU margin column right here, you can see only 2 of them were even close. I don't like trends where they talk about a specific day of the week. But again, as part of your trend research, not every trend you find is going to be one that you're going to like or that you're going to consider when handicapping the game. Moving on to trend number 2. And guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We're going to go to a pitcher specific trend here for trend number 2. We're going to go back and include last season, so season greater than or equal to 2022. The starter that we are looking at is Bryce Elder. We're going to look at Elder on the road, and we're going to look at him on the road against National League opponents. If we click the SDQL button, you'll see that the Braves are 0-6 over under, no overs, 6 unders. Games stayed under by an average of 2.8 runs per game. This season, or going back to last season, when Elder has started on the road against a National League opponent, you can see that it is active today. Braves visiting Aaron Nola and the Phillies. And I've actually got a trend on Aaron Nola coming up at the end of this video. Let's move on to trend number 3. And guys, don't forget to also hit that thumbs up button as well. We're going to do a current season trend here. So season is 2023. We're going to go team specific here. We're going to go team equals the Seattle Mariners. We're going to look at the Mariners on the road. We're going to look at them against American League opponents. So opponent league equals AL. We're going to look at them against opponents who are averaging at least 1.25 home runs per game. So good power teams. So this season, the Mariners on the road against American League opponents that are averaging 1.25 or more home runs per game. We'll hit the SDQL button. And you can see the Mariners are, despite a line that is almost even money, the Mariners are 1-8 against these teams, losing by an average of 4 runs per game. Very wide margin, very solid 61.1% ROI. And you can see it is active today. Mariners and Brian Wu taking on the New York Yankees. Let's move right into trend number 4. And guys, also don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of these videos or live streams. So for trend number 4, we are going to stick with just this season. And we're going to go league wide here. We're just going to look at games where the line is, now this says less than or equal to 300 because the SDQL database just sees this as a number and not a betting line. So what we're really looking at here is favorites of minus 300 or more this season. So we'll click the SDQL database button, and you'll see that these favorites of minus 300 or more are 18-1 this season for a 24.7% ROI. And you can see, and I used this trend today because it is active. It looks like it's going to be active tomorrow as well. It's active today. The Rays hosting the Royals. And it looks like if this line is accurate, it's going to be active tomorrow with the Blue Jays at home against the Athletics. So if you're not afraid to lay the heavy chalk, so far it has worked out this season. Now, that is not always the case. If we look at last season, and just last season, 2022, these favorites were 60-28 for 68.2%. But because the average line was minus 338, the actual ROI on these teams was minus 12.7%. So if you faded these heavy favorites, you had a good 19.4% ROI last season. So it'll be interesting to see if these heavy favorites continue to cash this season. So let's move into the final trend for this video. And guys, just a reminder to head over to dbbets.com. I don't have any plays up for today, but I do have a few special deals going right now that are limited time deals, especially the one where you can get the rest of 2023, all my plays, all sports for about $3 a day. Check that out at dbbets.com. And for my final trend of the day, we're going to go back to a pitcher-specific trend, and we're going to use season greater than or equal to 2022. So we're going to count this year and last season. We're going to count just the regular season, so no playoffs from last season. Our starter is Aaron Nola. We're going to look at him at home and against teams whose average margin, scoring margin, is at least a half run per game. So not counting playoffs, going back to last season, Aaron Nola at home against teams that are outscoring their opponents by at least a half a run per game on the season. And we'll click the SDQL button. And you see that the over-under is 10-0, 10 overs, no unders. These games went over by an average of 4 runs per game. You can see it is active today. Nola and the Phillies at home against the Braves. And I brought this trend in purposely because one of the earlier trends in this video was a Bryce Elder under trend. So this is a perfect example of why you should never base any bet on any single trend, because if you dig deep enough, you're going to find trends that are going to support each side of a game. And it's important to see which side has the most edges. And when you have a significant amount of edges on one side, that is when you'll want to make your play. Guys, that will do it for today's trend report. And as always, best of luck on all of your wagers today.